Hello, this is your girl, Dr. Brianna Boss James, aka Dr. Boss, the founder and CEO of She Bossin' Up and P31X. Listen, welcome to the carpet. If you're in a position to do so, go ahead, light a candle or something, grab your favorite beverage, and let's get into this thing on today. Today, we are going to talk about how to overcome perfectionism. Let me tell you, I've had this problem my entire life, and I still struggle with it a little bit, but let me tell you, each day it gets better and better. Because here's the reality. Perfectionism is really a double-edged sword. You know, you're striving for excellence, and that could really lead to some great achievements. It could also, on the flip side, hold you back from reaching the full potential that you're looking for, actually starting something and finishing it, putting something out there and letting it flow and see what's going to happen and improving over time. That would actually be the best way. But sometimes we can get stuck in wanting something to be exactly the way we think it should be, that it stalls us and we don't get anything done. You should see that you can embrace your full journey. And here's the reality. Mistakes are a part of our journey. That's a part of life. And we can really take those mistakes and use them as stepping stones for growth. This is going to allow room for imperfections. We are an imperfect people. That is just reality. And it's a beautiful thing when you can embrace who you are, strive for greatness, and yet realize, you know what, sometimes you put something out there, it's not as great as you want it to be, but it's something that is out there and it's done, and you're not delaying progress towards where you need to be. You have to remember, your value is absolutely not measured in flawless outcomes, but in the resilience and authenticity that you bring to every endeavor. And at the end of the day, you are who God says you are, and so that's what matters. And you are created in His image and likeness. So perfectionism isn't needed. Just accepting Christ has you on a whole nother level. So we're going to talk about some tips that can help you kind of overcome this. And this is something that you'll be working regularly, like day in, day out. You know, it comes up. You get on this flow and okay, I'm working these things. This has been great. It's doing it. And then you get to this one project and now you're stuck on it and you want it to be just right. I want to encourage you. Use these tips that we're going to go over to allow you, as the different times come and that perfectionism monkey hops on your back, that you can go ahead, set them to the side and still get something done and build it, grow it, and enhance it as time goes by. So here's tip number one. Set realistic expectations. Perfectionists often set completely impossible high standards for themselves. This will lead to feelings of disappointment and, of course, failure. Instead, seek to set realistic expectations for what you can accomplish, and then celebrate your achievements, no matter how large or how small. You want to celebrate along the way. Tip number two, embrace imperfection. Again, you're a human being. Human beings get stuff wrong all the time. It's reality. The moment you can recognize that perfectionism is not attainable and that it's okay to make mistakes, the better off you'll be. The easier you'll be able to get things done and, again, make progress over time. Embrace perfection as a part of the learning and growth process of your life's journey. You only know what you know until you learn more, and you can only do what you can do until you're able to do better. Next, focus on progress, not perfection. Instead of fixating on achieving perfection, focus on just making steady progress towards your work and your goals. And again, I'm all about the celebration. As you achieve each micro goal, celebrate each of those steps that you take, each of the things that you accomplish, and don't allow the setbacks to derail you. Seek to turn all your setbacks into stepping stones or launch pads that lead you to the next phase. And you can do this by focusing on the fact that you're going to gain wisdom from whatever it is that may or may not have worked. And then you can learn that and you can apply what you've learned to that same thing or even to the next thing. It's all about what you focus on. And you want to focus on progress. If you never put anything out, it doesn't matter how good it will be if you don't put it out. So make sure that you're focusing on just baby steps at a time, getting things out, accomplishing the things that you need to accomplish, and you can quote unquote perfect it as time comes. And then you also have to realize that sometimes there's always going to be another thing that you can do to whatever it is to make it even better. That's why majority of the time perfectionism is impossible, because something can always be done better. Next tip, practice self-compassion. You need to make sure you're treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you'd show anyone else, especially a friend. Do not beat yourself up for not meeting your own unrealistic expectations. You've got to learn to be flexible and ever ready to pivot. You are the MVP of your life. You have to treat you well. You have to love you very, very well. Therefore, you have to be easy on yourself. Now, you also need to make sure you know that if you're not doing something right or you're not giving your all, that you recognize that. But in the end, if you're going too hard on yourself, you're not going to get done what you need to get done. So the same love and care and compassion that you would show somebody else, make sure you show that to yourself. Last one on deck, seek support. Talk to a friend, family, a coach, a therapist, somebody about any struggles that you're having with your perfectionism. You'll be surprised at how common the issue really is. Like I'm telling you, I struggle with it all the time. And I go back to these things myself, realizing that most things that I do, anytime that I look at it, it can always be better. I'm writing a chapter for a book. I write it, it's like, oh, great, that's cool, it's good. Go back and read it. I'm like, oh, no, why did I say that was good? That is not okay. I need to change this. I need to change that. Oh, that's not right either. You will always look at what you've done and see how you can do it better. As life goes on, you could put something out today, and 3 days later, you've experienced something in those 3 days, and now you have something different to contribute to it. Life keeps evolving. You keep evolving. Therefore, the things that you do, the projects that you're working on, those are ever evolving. Perfectionism isn't something to seek to achieve. You want to operate as excellent as you can. And you want to get help with that along the way. So if you're struggling with that, listen, don't keep it to yourself. Talk to a friend, talk to somebody. Heck, go ahead and send me a little private message, and we could talk about it and see what it is that we can do to help you get to where you need to be. Overcoming perfectionism is a journey, and here's a reality. You may not really overcome it fully, but you can definitely get better at it every single day. It takes one step at a time. You keep these tips in mind as you're working towards letting go of perfectionism and embracing your true potential. It's just like the Bible says in Proverbs 16:9. In their hearts, humans plan their course, but the Lord establishes their steps. Let the Lord lead and guide you. Perfectionism can be overcome. Reality is that could take a lifetime. But each day that you progress through, you can get better and better. Focus on excellence and progress over perfectionism.